ITheir TV Syracuse, the local station. You're watching the morning news.
Good morning and welcome in. It is 5 o'clock on a Wednesday, March 18th. You got Ryan and Rachel with you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Despite the weather, it is an exciting week because obviously March Madness starts tomorrow for the basketball tournaments.
And our weather is saying,
yeah, we have March Madness.
I
know. But as always, when it comes to lake effect, you hear Kate always say, location, location, location. And she's going to be preaching that again this morning, right? And sadly, you were right in the heart of the location this morning, Kate.
Very much so. The snow is just dumping right on top of our neighborhood this morning. So, yeah, if you live north of the Thruway, your view probably looks a little something like this as you are up and at 'em on this Wednesday outside of the lake bend. I kid you not, driving down 481 this morning, as soon as I crossed the Thruway exit, the pavement literally went from untouched, like all completely snow covered, to pavement. It was like literally as soon as I crossed the Thruway exit. So, and that's where you had that very fine cutoff here with that lake effect. It really did a number in parts of the Tug Hill, Pulaski area. It dropped south overnight as expected, set up in our northern suburbs, and that's where we still have some of that lake effect going on right now. It's still coming down pretty good right along from Wolcott over towards Red Creek along 104. Then you go along 370 and 31 from Baldwinsville down towards getting into not quite right into the village of Liverpool, but pretty close over near Salina, North Syracuse, Sweetheart Corner, seeing some of that snow, and it's certainly lightened up a whole lot in towns of Clay and Cicero compared to what it was earlier this morning. So we're going to keep that trend going with the lighter snow, and eventually temperatures are getting back above freezing, not by much, but at least a little bit, and the wind is coming down a lot today as well.
Well, Kate said, I know exactly where I should be sending Anthony Vecchio this morning. Let's throw him in the Cicero Clay area. This is right at 11 and 31. You can see that the flakes are still coming down, but as Kate mentioned, it is starting to wind down this morning, which is good news. But yeah, looks like December instead of March there. Poor Anthony. How about this, though? The winter causing chaos on the roads yesterday as well. From Marcellus all the way to Watertown, slippery streets ended up being the downfall of drivers, especially in two pileups happening within hours of each other.
Let's start in Watertown, where a stretch of 81 is back open this morning after a massive pileup happening yesterday. State police say that 7 tractor trailers and 9 vehicles were involved in the southbound lanes, and 2 tractor trailers and 4 vehicles involved in the northbound lanes there. Police saying there were 4 minor injuries, fortunately, and the whiteout conditions were to blame.
And as soon as they were wrapping up there, they had to go to Oswego, the state police. It was heavy winds that were to blame for this pileup in Pulaski. New York State Police clarified that about 20 vehicles were involved in the actual collision, while another 20 vehicles were undamaged but caught up in that traffic mess. So the southbound lane between the Richland and the Pulaski exit were closed for several hours as dozens of ambulances, tow trucks, and fire trucks and police officers dealt with this mess. The highway reopened just before 7 last night. The fire chief said it was miraculous. Only serious injuries resulted from the crash, non-serious injuries, describing the mess as carnage.
Intense winter conditions also had first responders answering the call in Marcellus overnight yesterday. Crews were on the scene involving 2 tractor trailers at the intersection of Route 20 in the middle of the road. One was leaking diesel fuel from a ruptured tank. Crews were able to clean up the spill, and there were no reports of serious injuries.
Okay, now is the time to be weather ready with the Storm Team app to help you prepare for whatever lies ahead. Just take out your phone and scan that QR code right now. You can also find it in the App Store and Google Play. Of course, it is free to use and download.
New fallout from the partial U.S. government shutdown. Airports still scrambling to address staffing shortages.
That's right, and travelers are left facing long delays. Here's ABC's Lionel Moise having the very latest.
A new warning from the TSA. The partial government shutdown could soon force some small airports to close because of staffing shortages. More TSA officers being forced to work without pay are now calling out sick, including more than 30% in New Orleans, Atlanta, Houston, and New York. Some airports have been forced to close security checkpoints. Philadelphia's airport closing 2 more checkpoints today.
We're looking for bombs, guns, knives at the airport, making sure people are safe, and we shouldn't be stressed about how we're going to pay our bills.
It's been 31 days since we've received a full paycheck, and I would like to tell the American public that the call-offs that are occurring with TSA right now are not because we don't want to come to work because we're not getting paid. We're talking about parents who cannot afford childcare, and we're talking about officers who cannot put gas in their cars to make it to work.
It's all because of a standoff in Congress. Democrats are refusing to fund the Homeland Security Department until Republicans agree to changes in immigration enforcement. Democrats want to require immigration agents to get certain warrants before searches, and they want to ban agents from wearing masks to protect their identity. There has been movement in the negotiations. The Trump administration has now agreed to expand the use of body cameras, limit immigration enforcement in sensitive locations like schools and hospitals, and require agents who are not undercover to identify themselves. Democrats offer to fund the TSA and all agencies except for ICE and Border Patrol, but Republicans rejecting that idea. In addition to long lines at the airport, travelers have something else to worry about. Airfares are rising by up to 20% in the last week as the war in Iran drives up fuel prices. Lionel Moyes, ABC News, New York.
This morning, as the war with Iran.
This is a Storm Team Alert, certified as Central New York's most accurate.
And a very good morning to you. Happy Wednesday. The plows are out, especially up in the northern suburbs, getting everything all cleared out from all the lake effect snow that we had overnight. There are spots from the Tug Hill sliding right through Oswego County and in northern Onondaga County that are really waking up to a decent amount of snowfall. I heard from some of you in Fulton where you saw close to a foot of snow in the last 24 hours. And of course, that caused a lot of issues traveling in and around the Watertown area and parts of Oswego County yesterday. This morning, need to budget a few extra minutes heading out the door if you were in this band overnight. We still have some of this lake effect snow, but it is gradually weakening. It's starting to break up a little bit, but still coming down good from Walcott over into northern Cayuga County, extending into Baldwinsville, going down towards Van Buren, just moving over where the 690 Jones Road exit is, extending over into Salina. North Syracuse, Sweetheart Corner, just a little bit of some lighter snow showers, including up in Clay and Cicero, where it was really coming down good overnight. And so heading out the door, you have at least a few inches of snow to shovel on out and to plow out. Now, as the day goes on, things are going to slowly wind down because the wind is shifting. But so far, things are shaping up pretty good with our snowfall totals. Some of you on the lower end, and obviously some of you are on the higher end of this. This morning, though, it is cold. Make sure you bundle up as you are heading out the door this morning. We have temperatures in the teens and single digits as you are up and at 'em. The rest of our day is still cold, though. Our temperatures are running a solid 10 degrees below normal for this time of year. Some of you still may not even be above freezing for today, but at least we'll see at least a few hints of sunshine. After today, temperatures start to climb up a little bit, eventually landing in the mid-40s by the end of the week. And our snow, any snow that we've picked up in the last day or so is really going to shrink here again and disappear in the next day or two. Also, the wind is playing a big role today, at least the lack thereof. We don't have much of a wind compared to the last few days, and the wind is shifting to the south, so that's also what's helping shut this lake effect down later this morning. By about like 8, 9 o'clock, this is pretty much going to be wrapped up at this point. The warnings expire at 8 a.m. this morning. And then we're left with just a chilly, cloudy day. We got temperatures trying really hard just to get barely above freezing in the 30s, but all in all, a relatively quiet day. Late tonight and tomorrow, there's a little weak clipper moving through. Nothing really too significant here, but we'll see an additional about another coating to a couple of inches of slushy snow in the Tug Hill area for tomorrow afternoon. and the hill south of Syracuse, too. Maybe a little bit of some slight coating. Otherwise, some rain mixing in by late tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. Some of that rain carries over into Friday on the first day of spring. We know winter likes to hang on real tight over us. That's why temperatures fall back over the weekend. We're in the upper 40s on Saturday, low 40s with the rain-snow mix on Sunday. We're starting off next week on a chilly note, 30s on Monday and highs in the 40s on Tuesday next week.
All right. Well, Kate called it. Here come the delays. But
This is a Storm Team Alert, certified as Central New York's most accurate.
Well, our lake effect snow band, it really shrunk just within the last hour. You can see how it was at least about like 10 miles wide, and now we don't really have much snow hanging on, at least not the real heavy stuff. Things are just more flurries than anything this morning. The rest of our day is cloudy, temperatures in the low 30s. We're running a good 10 degrees below normal for this time of year, but it's not as windy today. It has been very blustery the last few days. A little bit of rain, snow for tomorrow. More rain showers on Friday. Temperatures, no warm-ups in sight, though.
in Watertown. And then as crews are wrapping up there, state police called to another wreck. Check this one out. This one in Oswego County near the Pulaski exit. This one had 20 cars as well, several tractor trailers. At first, they thought maybe 40 cars, but they said 20 involved in the actual wreck, 20 others just caught up in all the madness. And again, minor injuries, which the fire chief says, miraculous.
Right. And again, winter weather being blamed for that. So take it easy out there with these whiteout conditions. And right now, we are getting some delays coming in because of winter weather. And you say, Kate, it's all about location today.
Oh, my God. I had our weather watcher in Fulton. He's like, we got 12 inches overnight.
12 inches?
12 inches in Fulton overnight.
Wow.
When that band dropped south and it hung out right at that Oswego and Onondaga County border, extending over towards the lake. But it's really winding down very quickly now.
Okay.
The wind, or the lack thereof, is on our side. This is what it was at 3 in the morning in town of Clay. When it was just,
it was photographer, great shot.
Look at that steady hand, photographer, I'm telling you.
This person has a lot of experience.
We had to keep the sound down because of cussing, though.
No. Although there was, it was funny. You actually, if you listen, you probably can hear music in the background. No, which was not a bad song. It was a good song, but
a lot of F words being
frigid,
freezing,
fun,
frozen.
Walking on sunshine.
frolicking in the frigid. All that stuff, yeah. The 4-letter S word out there, the snow that we are still dealing with. Yeah, winter still very much has a good grip on us. And we are dealing with still some lake effect snow, but you can really see just in this 1 hour loop, things have really wind down here. Walcott, still some lingering snow showers towards Red Creek. Red Creek's one of the districts on a 2-hour delay, Central Square as well. Camilla's a little bit of snow as this has now dropped south the thruway, but it's very light at this point and just more flurries than anything. All right, this is going to wind down here in the next couple of hours, leaving us with a cloudy day. Not as windy today, too, so feeling calmer, and highs still cold in the low 30s, though.
Well, you know, every morning we say, where should we send our morning photographer, Anthony Vecchio? And Kate says, oh, I know. You don't have to go too far. Just go a little north there. Cicero Clay. Yep, he's right in Cicero at the 11 and 31 intersection there. And look at this December scene. Yeah, waking up to more snow. How many days till spring again? We are 2 days. And you know what? The plows, the private plow companies, they are not minding it. One time they described it as quarters from heaven.
Oh,
so
I'm sure
they're definitely, you know, taking advantage of this weather.
Yeah, absolutely. Another snowy morning in central New York has some school kids thinking about maybe one more snow day before spring comes.
I'm sure they're thinking about it. But how many snow days do school districts actually have left? News Channel 9's Victoria Kellogg has a look for what happens when the days off dry up.
As students wake up and check for closings, districts like Central Square are down to just 1 snow day left. Central Square's superintendent, Tom Calabufo, says the district builds in 186 days of classroom time each year, including 6 emergency days. But those don't always apply district-wide. They can be used for individual buildings like water main breaks or other issues. And now, with just one snow day left, the district is preparing for what comes next. If they go over, they could either add a day to the end of the school year or shift students to remote learning, logging on to their Chromebooks from home.
But because we only have one left, kids have been bringing home their Chromebooks, even in elementary, every single day. Because if there was ever a situation where there were back-to-back snow days, we would have no way to get those Chromebooks home.
But every call now could impact the rest of the school year, including makeup days. In Central Square, Victoria Kellogg, News Channel 9.
Central Square and several Oswego County schools operating this morning. We're also seeing some delays for Madison and Cayuga counties. As always, keep your eye on the bottom of your screen as those school delays continue to roll on in.
Now is the time to be weather ready with that Storm Team app. And to help you prepare, we have it for you. Just take out your phone, scan that QR code on your TV. You can also find the app in the Apple Store and Google Play.
To the SU Hill now, where it looks...
This is a Storm Team Alert, certified as Central New York's most accurate.
And a very good morning to you. Yep, the plow crews are out, especially up in the northern suburbs, and getting everything all cleaned off after we had a healthy lake effect snow band drop several inches of snowfall from Oswego County, northern Onondaga County, over towards the lake, northern Cayuga County and Wayne County. Full and picked up over a foot of snow in some spots overnight, but our lake effect has really weakened here. It has dropped south just a little bit now, just south of the city of Syracuse, but we really don't have much snow, just some lighter flurries now going on from Wolcott over towards Red Creek, Cato, extending into Baldwinsville. Coming out a little steady in some spots out towards Camillus, Onondaga Hill, heading down towards Pompey, Fabius, and a couple little bursts here over towards Morrisville, Madison, but it's not amounting to a whole lot. You'll pick up an extra coating to maybe an inch, and that's really about it. We have drier air moving in, and the wind is helping too, or the lack thereof. There's not going to be much of a breeze today, and the little bit of wind we do have, it's from the south. So that's what's helping get rid of our lake effect this morning. But it's cold. As you're outside, if you have to shovel this morning, you need to bundle up. We have temperatures single digits and teens. Not that much of a breeze today, but there's a little bit of a wind chill. Temperatures today running well below normal still. Highs yesterday only got to 30. Today, we're going to try and get to at least above the freezing mark. And even though we're not as warm, a lot of the snow that we have picked up, it's really going to shrink or go away depending on how much you got in the last 24 hours, especially in the next couple of days when our temperatures really get back into the 40s. Pretty much by the end of the week. And then, well, if you're hoping for any warm-ups on the way, no. This is that 8 to 14-day outlook. This is taking us to the end of March and the beginning of April, and the overall trend is to still keep our temperatures running below normal, which at that point is going to be in the upper 40s. And so we don't have any 70s in our short-term forecast. Now, here's our short-term forecast on the timecast. Plenty of clouds. Temperatures still in the 20s here by lunchtime, and then in the afternoon, we'll try and get a few breaks in the clouds here and there, but it's a relatively quiet day and not as windy as it has been the last few days, and not a whole lot happening. No precipitation expected for the remainder of the day after we get through this morning. Not the case for tomorrow, though. We have a little bit of some snow mixing in with some rain during the day, with those highs getting back into the 40s. You can see a little bit of that rain kind of moving in here. This is mostly happening later Thursday and carrying over into Friday, with those rain showers still kind of hanging on for that first day of spring. Pretty quiet on Saturday. Mixture of sun and clouds, highs in the upper 40s. Sunday, we'll have a little bit of rain, snow around. Start of next week, it's a cold start to next week too, with temperatures 30s on Monday and low 40s on your Tuesday. Another week or two. But eventually things are going to get warmer. Still taking a while. It's not happening today. If you are heading out the door, you want to give yourself the extra time if you were in that snow band. Sunrise is at 7:11 today. Sunset at 7:15. Cloudy. Temperatures are in the 30s. Fun little fact here. We are now hit the point of the year where we are getting more daylight versus nighttime. We have 12 hours and 3 minutes of daylight and counting. So we've now surpassed where it's brighter versus darker days now.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, I like that. Mm-hmm. Some good news.
Yeah.
The bright
There's an actual
sun.
term for it. I forget what it's called. But, I like that.
This man's not going to know it.
Google it. I'm sure you'll find it.
We'll get research on it as we ask our question.
For our neighbors to the north, two massive
SYR TV Syracuse, the local station. You're watching the morning news.
Good morning. Welcome in. It is 6 o'clock on a Wednesday, March 18th. You got Ryan and Rachel with you today. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, if you haven't seen those pictures of the pileups, though, stay around.
I know.
Something to see. Hopefully, a calmer day on the roads, but we are dealing with storm team alert again because there are some areas where the snow is falling. Kate did not have to go very far. She stepped out her front door and almost said, nope. But then she said, okay, I'm still coming in. People rely on me. So she is in this morning. You made it. You said it was, what a difference once you got over the thruway, right?
Oh my goodness, literally driving down 481 south, and it was, I always, I describe it as in Star Wars when you're going into light speed. Yeah. When Ryan's like, yeah, of course, you don't know what I'm talking about. You didn't see Star Wars. He's pretending to know what I'm talking about. But you know how when they're in the Falcon 9, also go, woo? I know. Okay, thank you. Rachel knows what I'm talking about. That's what it looked like. Then literally, as soon as I passed the exit for the thruway, pavement. No, warp speed. Thank you, warp speed. I'm a little rusty on my Star Wars knowledge. All right, let's talk about some snow, shall we? I know some of you are like, ugh, do we have to? Well, just a little bit. You know, the good news is that the snow has really weakened here, especially within the past hour. It has dropped south. We have just some lighter snow showers in and around Wayne, northern Cayuga, and even Onondaga County. Most of our snow is now moved south of the city of Syracuse, and we're picking up just an additional coating to an inch or so. So just be careful heading out the door this morning, but eventually we're ending our day much quieter. It's not nearly as windy as it has been, and our temperatures still chilly today, though, with those highs in the 30s.
All right. Where is Anthony? That should be our new segment. We send him out every morning to get some shots of the area. He found the snow. He is up in Cicero, right at the 11 and 31 intersection, a very busy intersection. Of course, he'll pick up as the morning goes along, but you can see it looks like a scene from December. But this wintry weather was causing chaos on the roads yesterday as well. From Marcellus all the way to Watertown, slippery streets ended up being the downfall of drivers, especially in two pileups happening within hours of each other.
We will start in Watertown, where a stretch of 81 is back open this morning after a pileup yesterday. State police say that 7 tractor trailers and 9 vehicles were involved in the southbound lanes, and 2 tractor trailers and 4 vehicles were involved in the northbound lanes. Police say there are 4 minor injuries, and the whiteout conditions were to blame for this one.
All right, over in Oswego now, it was heavy winds that were to blame for this pileup near the Pulaski exit. New York State Police clarifying that about 20 vehicles were involved in the collision, while another 20 vehicles were not damaged, but they were caught up in this traffic mess. The southbound lane between the Richland and Pulaski exits closed for several hours as dozens of ambulances, tow trucks, fire trucks, and police officers dealt with this mess. It all reopened around 7 o'clock last night.
Intense winter conditions also had first responders answering the call in Marcellus overnight. Crews were on the scene involving 2 tractor trailers at the intersection of Route 20 and Williams Road. 1 tractor trailer was found in the ditch, the other in the middle of the road. One was leaking diesel fuel from a ruptured tank. Crews were able to clean up the spill, and there were no reports of serious injuries.
Crazy day on the roads yesterday. Hey, make sure you're downloading that Storm Team app so you're always ready for any kind of weather. You can scan it right there. You can also go to the app in Google Play Store.
And make sure you're keeping an eye on the bus.
Certified as Central New York's most accurate.
Well, a very good Wednesday morning to you. Here's a live view right now, what it looks like in Cicero. This is along Route 31 and Route 11. where things are a lot quieter than they were a few hours ago when that lake effect snow band just really intensified overnight. It dropped a lot of snowfall over a lot of spots in Oswego and northern Onondaga County. Here's what it looks like right now in downtown Syracuse. If you were looking downtown, if you see kind of a red glow in the sky, don't be alarmed. It's just the way that the lights from the dome are being reflected off of those low clouds. And temperatures are 18 degrees right now at the Syracuse airport. The wind is really starting to wind down, which is a big reason why our lake effect is winding down. The wind is also shifting a little bit, so we have a much weaker band of lake effect snow. The warning is still in effect until later today, but you can see just some very minimal snow showers now happening south of Cato. Moving along the thruway, our band has dropped south of the city of Syracuse, south of the thruway. Onondaga Hill extending along Route 20 towards Pompey. Cazenovia has been in and out of a little bit of snow in Morrisville. And this is where you'll watch out for at least a fresh coating to an inch or two of some snow as you're heading out the door. Some of you have seen as much as 6 to 12 inches of snowfall overnight. But eventually this lake effect is going to shut down. We have drier air and not as much of a wind outside for today. It's cold, though. If you have to shovel this morning, you have temperatures single digits and teens as you are up and at 'em. Our wind today generally from the south. So maybe thinking, oh, nice, the south wind. That usually means we're warmer, right? Well, warmer than yesterday. We only got up to 30 yesterday, and today, well, we'll get to the low 30s. So just a couple of degrees warmer than it was 24 hours ago. This is still running well below normal for this time of year, but we do embark on an upward trend with our temperatures. Nothing really too crazy here, but more seasonable with highs in the 40s starting tomorrow. We don't have any warm-ups on our way anytime soon. This is the outlook all the way through the beginning of April, and, well, you can see the blue over the northeast. Meanwhile, down to our south, we're going to have some heat building down there, and one side is up, and that means the other side has to be down. And when you have these kind of setups, it gives us some cooler air, which is why we are still dealing with lake effect snow for this time of the year, which we're used to. We know that this happens, and the lake effect is gradually moving up and out of here, giving us a cloudy day, pretty quiet for the remainder of the day too, with those temperatures in the 30s. Again, it's not as windy as it's been the last few days. You're really going to notice that as you are out and about for today. All right, let's talk about tomorrow. Not a whole lot happening, but we do have a little bit of snow. Not much, but you'll see some minor accumulating snow up in the Tug Hill, mixing in with some rain for Thursday evening. Some rain showers on Friday for the first day of spring. Pretty quiet, not bad on Saturday. Sunday, we'll start off with a bit of a wintry mix and rain showers during the day. And 30s to kick off next week for the last week of March already. Can't believe that.
I think we're all ready to say goodbye to it.
Yeah. March is my least favorite weather month. March and April.
Yeah.
For weather. It's always fun stuff going on, but weather-wise, I don't care for it.
It's kind of brown with, you know.
I'm kind of with you on March, but April I enjoy. I feel like it changes.
Yeah.
And it's my birthday month.
Oh, there's that.
So that helps.
All right, let's go to our question of the day. Warm with the voices.